And okay, yeah, I think we're live
Are we
now.
live? Hey, what's up, everyone?
Cheers. It's a
Yeah.
morning stream, so got my coffee. Got a turmeric or golden turmeric espresso latte. So
That's what's up. I mean, that sounds great. Did you make that or did you buy that?
so the golden turmeric's the Starbucks, like the pre-made Starbucks thing, and then I
Okay.
just mix match, warm it up, do all that fun stuff, and then do a little espresso shot and toss it in there.
By the way, evil twin Tyler. Do you know where actual Tyler is? I mean, 'cause I know actual Tyler has a beard.
I know.
So
Yeah. I felt like starting over and tried some. Just I do that every once in a while. I'll just be like, start over, and it's first time in like God, I think probably like a year that I've done that over probably
yeah.
since I've actually been this bare, and initially like this is like a good 4 or 5 days worth of stubble, but
Yeah.
the daughter was like, not having it.
You know what's funny is I decided to do the same thing too recently. Like just shave. I usually have a little bit of a mustache, and I guess you'd call this a goatee or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and I was thinking about shaving it all off for my wedding, and my fiance was like, "No, just get it trimmed really." And I got like a hot towel shave and everything like it. The other day, I want to just cut all this off, and this is about 4 or 5 days too, which is whatever. But when I shaved it, I like didn't tell her, and she just woke up and
Yeah.
she literally screamed. She's like, what are you like?" I
What
was
have you
just like,
done?
exactly, and she was just like, I was like talking to her like later on the day, and she's like, "I can't even take you serious anymore." I'm like, "Are you serious? Like it's just." But now she's like kind of adjusted to it, and she said she kind of digs it. But I'll probably grow my regular stash and everything back in.
Yeah, I'll probably start the process. It's
Yeah,
nice having a beard. I think I have a face for a beard. I'm not the prettiest man in the world. I need to cover up as much as possible.
yeah, I feel it. I grow the facial hair to distract from all this.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Hey, look at this.
Look what's going on here.
Also, look at these big headphones.
Yeah.
Like um,
Yeah, man, the Atriums, you got them. You're digging on them. I'm rocking the Atriums as well.
you know what? Yeah, I'm digging them. I actually traded these for, to this dude in Florida. I believe his handle is like Kaza on HeadFi and
How kind of fun
what do
stuff.
you call this and AV. Really
Okay.
nice guy, super cool. I traded my clear MG and my
Probably.
HD 600, like the Ireland made marble one that everyone like. I didn't really. I mean, I knew people were like, "Yeah, I gotta have that." I kind of missed that. I kind of wish I didn't sell that trade that because that's actually pretty nice. But I had the 650 already, and just kind of like being redundant, and I wanted this Atrium. Still happy about the trade, and I was really surprised by how much I love this like aged copper look. It's very gothic, and it's these are super light. And my understanding is the standard wood is always the lightest wood
Hmm.
that Zach will work with, which is great. I'm digging them. The soundstage isn't as massive as I thought it was going to be, but
Yeah, I would say it's bigger than most. I'd say the VO still trumps it to
yeah,
some level.
yep,
As far as stage, the perceived stage is big though,
yeah,
and it's bigger than most other headphones outside
yep,
of the HG800 and the VO. I'd say.
yeah. The way I would kind of look at this is almost all Zach's cans are lean back, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But this is more lean back, and VO is more lean forward. If that makes any sense.
Yes.
That's how I look at it. What was that? We got Grump in the house. What's good?
We got
By the way,
Hobby Talk, Grumpy Goose, Aiko. I'm always gonna. I can never. Yeah, he and I have been going back and forth on. I showed him the vinyl records yesterday, and we're talking about some other stuff. Audio Fool, what's up? Jay
Audio
met
Fool
him.
is good.
Yeah, you met him at
Yeah, I
CanJam.
need to know. I need
Last
to
Rhino.
link me those tubes, man. Okay, so I've been looking. Okay, yeah, I need to hit you up. I've been lagging on that, but I need to get those tubes. I was gonna say, hey, we can call it Ico A to the Kizzo.
A to the Kizzo.
A to the Kizzo is the new name. All right. All right. So yeah. But yeah, no, I'm digging them. These are definitely staying in the stable for a minute. Definitely staying in the stable. I feel good with my ZMF collection of the VO, the Verite, and the Icon. And and while at CanJam, fantastic time. I got ruined by the Caldera. Like the Caldera just ruined me. And then this Gwen SET amp with the DCS Luna.
Yeah, the
DAC.
DCSs that's like a $15,000 plus stack of DAC, I think, right? Isn't it like or 20,000 or it's something stupid. It's stupid expensive.
By the way, if y'all see me take a sip out of my coffee and then my lips turn black, it's because this is a charcoal latte. Charcoal oat milk latte.
Nice.
From Oakland's, one of Oakland's best
little cafes, roasteries.
Yeah, spot called Red Bay Coffee.
Red Bay, nice.
Yeah, they're freaking dope. They do this instead of a what do we call this? Sorry, it's still early for me. Instead of a pumpkin spice latte during the holidays, they do a candy yam latte, and my wife has to get it.
Candied yam. Oh, I love candied yams. Ooh.
Yeah, it's fire.
So I guess there's something. Oh, so I got a message. Zach's sending me a demo Caldera that should arrive hopefully by end of next week. So I still need to finish a video on these lovely Auteur classics. Come on, there you go.
Yeah.
You can see right. Is that right? It says it. This is this is B stock, but it usually has a little demo tag there. But so these are the demo units. So I need to do this video on these still. I'm working on it. Life has been chaos for me, but hopefully starting next week we'll have a better understanding of what's going on, and I'll be able to start actually getting back into the swing of this stuff. But hobby. Well, so I think I mentioned I'm just doing a golden turmeric espresso milk latte, but he's called you a real millennial there, Jay.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I am. I was born in '83, so I'm like an older millennial.
Yeah.
For sure.
I'm 81. I'm an 81 baby. So
yeah, you're a millennial as well.
Technically,
who decides this? Yeah, right.
Well, no, because technically I'm like it's weird. We're like Gen Y, but we're not. Like because they keep goalpost shifting this time.
Yeah.
Like my whole life I was called Gen Y, and then all of a sudden 2005 or something around that range, all of a sudden it was like, oh no, now you're a millennial. It's like
yeah. Exactly. You gotta brand this shit. It's all done by marketing folks anyway, right?
Truth.
I like to say, all right, this is how, I kind of feel more like a Gen Xer, even, but then, I'm a
Gen
hybrid,
X,
right?
that's it. Gen X, that's what we're
Gen
supposed to be.
X
Gen X,
or Gen Y,
Gen
right?
Y, yeah.
I feel like I'm a hybrid of that because I remember very distinctly when Kurt Cobain died.
Yeah.
I remember exactly when that happened.
Tupac, you grew up with Tupac. You grew up with,
Also, I used to have to deal with the Dewey Decimal System, and I had to learn cursive.
Yes,
I know some millennials. None of these, they had to deal with any of this
What's
shit.
handwriting?
Yeah, exactly.
Or I had to go to typing class. Did you have to go to typing class and stuff?
Oh yeah. And a 28.8 kilobyte modem, I've seen some shit. I lived a life.
No joke, dude. Speaking of keyboards, dude, so this came in. It's a set.
Cool.
It's called Cat Lala. So remember that, what was that, Ryan Gosling, and he did the whole dancing jazz. He was the jazz musician, struggling jazz artist, and then what's her name was his girlfriend that wanted to be a actress, and then they ended up splitting and, hanging out later on. It was like that sad La La Land or...
Oh, yeah, I think
One Night in Hollywood.
I think it is La La Land.
Yeah, so it's based off that, but it's basically a purple and whatever key. So they're key sets for a keyboard, like a custom mechanical keyboard.
Oh.
I ordered these. I totally forgot about them. They showed up, and I'm like, what the hell is this? Where did I get? What is it? I ordered these back in 2000. 2020.
That's when you ordered them?
Yeah, they showed up like literally like a week ago.
Wow. By the way, speaking of keys, I just got this in. Yeah, I'm not sure if you, like, came recommended from some folks. My homie. It's basically a number pad. So it's like needs to be soldered and everything. That's like was my requirement. Like, yo, I need something that needs to be soldered. So this whole it's basically a number pad key. Pretty stoked off of it. It's in rose gold. So now that I got my solder station set up in the garage, I'm gonna be ready to go. Oh, we got an unboxing.
Yeah, dude, I was gonna do some little cool quick. So I got this from a gentleman off Etsy on a plan for, and it has from my profile picture on Instagram and the little project I did with a fellow artist.
Oh,
this was that thing I did for
yeah, right on.
mental health awareness.
Right on.
I was stuck to the top of it for some reason. That's cool.
Shout out to doing that good work. Is it Mental Health Awareness Month? All month? This month?
I'm not sure. I think so. But yeah, so this is a pretty interesting little.
By the way, if you haven't ever spoken to a therapist, you should do it. You should go do it, man. It's good stuff. I highly recommend it. Therapy is a good thing for everyone. I like to say I go to therapy because I have to deal with all these other people that don't go to therapy. So go to therapy.
Go talk to someone without having to worry about being judged.
Don't be a toxic person.
Yeah,
or
actually,
shit,
be a good person.
Yeah, ain't no shame in going to therapy. Look how black my teeth got from this charcoal latte.
It is coming up on Halloween. I mean, it is Halloween time frame. Wow, this guy packed this great, man. So this is special because I'm gonna be putting all up in the other thing that I ordered and got made for this. But anyways, let's well, I guess I'll just open this real quick. Hopefully I can not break anything while trying to rapidly do this. How's next part of married life? You've settled in nicely after a couple weeks. Married life.
Married life is dope as fuck. Everyone should do it, man. You should go find your partner and then marry them as soon as you can. I actually, whoa, what's that? I'll just take a look at this real quick. What is this?
This is a DIY whammy build.
All right.
So it's like a HPA, kind of like a pass labsy type of deal, but it's remember that solid state. So this will give you a proper idea of what this is. So that's the circuit board and the transformer, and there's some more parts here off to the side. But
I give up on this latte. It's like just straight up charcoal now.
It's good. It's good for you.
Legit, just straight up charcoal, bro. I'm just like
So this will give you exactly what this is, what that's for, and that's the circuit board / main part of the amp, and I'm going to put it into this custom built. Let me scoot the fudge back. Custom built, and here's the case. Oh, this is amazing.
Oh, sick, dude. Okay, so you're building an amp.
Yep.
I think I remember this.
Yeah. So this is.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And so it'll have the big knob there and everything. But
and when you turn up the volume, do those like LEDs light up?
They light up, yeah. And so on the back, so the other one I had, it was the gentleman that made this case. He only had the ends, or outs. I mean, or I have it set up for a pre. Yeah, so I have this ready for it to be a preamp as well. So. My brain.
The analog's going somewhere. Whether it's going in or out, I don't know. It doesn't matter. It makes music.
It does things.
Yeah. You plug things into it. It's awesome.
But yeah, and then here's all the extra parts for the whammy. So yeah, there's the little volume knob thing, and all the RCAs and a lot of fun stuff.
You know what'd be cool is you build it live stream.
That's what I was gonna. I guess live stream. I can do that.
And everyone's gonna watch Tyler live. You're gonna see a person get zapped. Just get zapped.
zapped or rage quit.
Yeah, maybe. Both would be exciting. By the way, like, I believe the term is to drain your pots. I forget when you're working on a tube amp. Because you can, like, when you're working on a tube amp,
Yeah.
like, there can still
discharge.
Be charge. Yeah, you can get I was talking to dude goes by a unique username on this audiophile like SF channel Discord that we're on, and I've known this before, but when you're like working on a tube amp, because I'm having issues with my bottle head, he's like, make sure you drain. I forget the exact term. Because I've been zapped by a tube amp before. I've been zapped by a tube amp. I don't think I've been zapped by anything else. But definitely a tube amp. My Molnir too. My Molnir zapped the fuck out of me. Yeah.
Mine was my bottle head for sure, as I was messing with it, trying to get it, and like and then our boy, man, that sucks. His atriums. It's like
or Skeeves,
man. It sucks too because he did it with the Porta Pros, which you think would have been, but I guess the impedance of it going across wasn't enough for it to actually factor. I'm assuming. That's the only thing I could think of where it didn't.
So he tested with the Porta Pros first, and then that's gonna be a good thing. I want to be able to test this thing, make sure I'm checking all the continuity properly, and even maybe plugging in some shitty headphones first before I start plugging in mine.
You're gonna be offended a little bit, man, but my testing headphone is my Grottos. The 125E, I think. Is that what it is? Where are those at? They're up there.
Dude, at least get a pair of SE60s or SR60s, bro. Come on, man. 125s. But I get it.
But yeah, so that's what I would use usually is like those, or I use I have a set of HD 700s I'll throw on every once in a while just as a tester.
Wow, the HD 700s are your test. That's those are supposed to be those are supposed to kind of be like the mobile version of the 800 basically.
Yeah. Honestly, I mean, people rag on those so bad. And they're wonky. There's definitely some wonk going on there when listening to just music, but like for gaming, for movies, for general consumption, like of audio type stuff, they're actually pretty fantastic, especially off like a tube. But yeah, they definitely have some weirdness going on, but it's nothing like your normal average person wouldn't know. They'd think they're amazing. So
yeah. I don't know. We're just
hey, blaze your own trail, man.
There you go. Just blaze your own trail. Advocate for the HD 700. Don't be like everyone else.
Find your own path.
Yeah, don't like things that sound good. Like the things that are like okay.
Hipster AF.
Yeah, exactly. Just like that'd be hella funny. Just start like advocating for like all the worst headphones like in the audiophile space, and just to be like a hipster.
Well, there's plenty of people to do that, man. There's lots of HiFiMAN fans.
Oh damn! Wow, we got a spicy Tyler on a Sunday morning. Damn, bro.
All you HiFiMAN fans out there, we know you.
I feel like HiFiMAN makes some like obviously great products, but I do feel like I was actually talking to my boy about this on the way down, and a lot of the companies that and just in general, but especially it's just speaking about the specific audiophile space, like I like them to have a very focused ethos and a very focused way about building products, and that's kind of why I really like why I'm such a big ZMF fanboy. Yeah, they're very focused and committed to this very. Speaking
of grumpy, or like just people that make things in general.
Make things, yeah. Grumpy's like it's, versus like someone that's just kind of wanting to cover everything, and I feel like that's what like HiFiMAN does. They want to make the cheap one, they want to make this one, and I look at all their models, and I'm just lost. And I've heard some of their stuff, and here's what I would say about HiFiMAN. They always give me that initial wow factor. Where I'm just like, holy smokes, this thing is like amazing. Almost all their cans. But then actually, after I listen to them for a while, I just like, the magic wears off. There's like this weird timbre thing that I just can't get. And then the soundstage is exciting at first, but then all of a sudden the soundstage's imaging feels like...
It's just fake. It feels fake.
Yeah, there you go. Like, it's like playing like a... remember when Nintendo came out with their 3D game, their
3DS.
No, not way before that. The 3D Game Boy that was like all like.
Oh, the Virtual Boy.
Virtual Boy, right? So remember the first time you played Virtual Boy that you were playing that tennis demo? You're like, oh my god, this is sick, right? And then
your eyes started to bleed, and
you're like, this isn't cool.
You had this piercing headache, and you're like,
wait a minute, do I like this? No, I mean, I think that I'm sure that I haven't spent a lot of time on any of that super high-end hi-fi, except for the 1000, like one of the earlier versions of the
HE1000. Those are pretty good, actually. I actually thought those were, but they're just, the build quality on those are just doo-doo, man.
Yeah, and the 1-year warranty always makes me nervous when I'm spending like 10 grand on something, right?
And it's like, and then you know that they have bad build quality, and it's just like, such a tough. I think they just dropped the price on the HE1000 V2, I want to say.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think they dropped it by $1,000. Went from $3,000 to $2,000 now. Which that's another thing. That headphone's old, man. It's still a $2,000. It's like, what?
Yeah. I mean, and you talk about like Zach right now, lifetime warranty on drivers when you buy from. And I wonder if he's going to honor that with the Caldera. I haven't looked into that. I don't see why he wouldn't, but I don't know for sure.
It's because it's a different. It's not. I didn't look. I need to ask him about that, but I'm sure he would, just because that's his MO. But I mean,
you never know.
I don't know.
It's a brand new type of driver. So do we want to talk about? We had a couple records.
Yeah, man.
What do we want to talk about those records?
You want to talk? Let's talk about our most recent purchases. We'll stop. Let's end on the Soul Media, and then. But what's some of the? I picked up these. I was randomly walking around. And yesterday with the fam, in-laws and whatnot, they're visiting with the daughter, and I picked up I saw these Blue Note records, and I was like, whoa, those are dope. And they're only like $4, $3 to $4 each. And so it's basically a decade of jazz, and it starts in 1939 and goes all the way to 1969.
69. That's dope.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Like, I was like, and that's for the price. So I'm going to go to my buddy's and use his much nicer vinyl cleaning system setup and clean these up and then give them a go. Give them a listen.
I bet you, I wonder if those are even, if that actual comp has ever been done.
Sick. Check out the freaking
Spotify.
Sleeves, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Got the little Blue Notes. The little Blue Notes on there. That's sick.
Those are great.
And it even has, you can kind of see it has a Blue Note, look there to it. Try not to touch actually, these are pretty clean. Wow. These are actually, there's a little bit, there's a couple fingerprints, some dust on there, but nothing a quick wipe down wouldn't do.
Yeah.
Too bad. These are actually pretty nicely, I'll get the reflection, try not to get my greasy ass fingers on there.
I'm looking right now, and it doesn't even look like this is, I don't see it from initial search. Like if
what
this
they
comp
are
is actually if this comp has been released digitally, like on Spotify or something, which I think is cool. I mean, maybe it has just under a different title or whatever.
Yeah, because it's basically like a best of. Like they just grabbed. It's pretty sick. They have like the pictures of the artists.
Oh wow,
and stuff.
That's actually dope. Yeah. Who's on there? List off a couple names real quick.
Let's see. We got. Tad Dameron, Thelonious Monk, huh?
Okay, yeah.
The man, the myth, the legend, the little Sidney Bechet. Bechet?
Okay.
Ike Quebec, Meade Lux Lewis, Edmund Hall, Israel Crosby, Charlie Christian.
Is there Art Blakey on there, I see?
Let's see, go in the back. Let's see, Albert Amos, Port of Harlem Jazzmen, Sidney Bechet, Quintet, Earl Hines, Lux Lewis, Celeste Quartet, Edmund Halls, George Lewis, White Trio. There's a bunch, man. This is the 39 to 49. So, Sydney, Art, Hope, Sydney. I'm trying to see if there's any names that really stand out.
Not my favorite time of jazz recording.
I agree. But it's kind of a fun thing. Let's go to.
Yeah, totally. Jazz gets really dope late 50s to like the 60s, in my opinion.
49 to 59.
Okay, so it's gonna start getting like more my style.
Bud Powell Trio, Thelonious Monk, Milt Jackson Quintet, J.J. Johnson Sextet, Clifford Brown Sextet, Miles Davis Quartet.
Miles Davis,
I've
heard of him before. Is he good?
I think so.
Has he put out any albums before?
I think maybe it's been a
while.
Is
he like influential at all? Like maybe from like. You know, for
For a jazz
yeah.
guy. I think it sounds
actually,
familiar.
was he the guy that was basically involved in like almost every jazz movement while he was alive and
I think
I don't know.
that's ringing a bell.
Yeah.
Uh, Jimmy
you know,
Smith,
this is
John Coltrane. Yeah, Lou
you know, this
Donaldson.
era is good. This is like that's when like bebop starts going down and like modal jazz, all that stuff is like right around there. Like obviously kind of blue and all that stuff started dropping around that time. So this goes to 79, right?
69.
69. Okay.
And 69's lacking. It doesn't have as many artists for sure.
Yes.
Jimmy Smith, Ike Quebec, Kenny Burrell, Donald Byrd, Lee Morgan,
Okay.
Eric Dolphy.
So here's what's cool about that. You're gonna start getting into like more like soul and like I believe
Funk style a little bit.
not I don't say maybe, but like that's when stuff gets a little bit weird. Like where a lot more like avant-garde shit starts going down.
The drugs
Like,
kicked in, man.
Yeah, well, look, man. You don't like drugs, you don't like good music, is what I like to tell people. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you got a problem with drugs, they'll throw away all your best records. You know?
Yeah. What'd you pick up, man? What'd you pick
All
up?
right. So I know we wanted to. Here, I'll leave this one last too. Actually, I'll put this over here because
Man, I was
kind of
jamming to that last album for like all day on Friday. It was.
Speaking of jazz,
Yeah, there he is.
Get the Coltrane Tone Poet, and this is fantastic.
It's a great album.
So this is a very special. If you follow the Tone Poet series, these are all AAA. Was Kevin Gray's mastering them. So it's like all AAA recordings, like RTI pressings. They recreated. So originally this was released in mono.
Mono, yeah.
They released it in mono and stereo, but the ones they had the same cover, and what they did, they just slapped this stereo sticker on the original pressing, and they kind of recreated. This is an actual stereo sticker, which is pretty neat. And then you'll see all the Tone Poet, all the Tone Poet series do a really great job of the internal images, but they actually also added for this Coltrane release.
Oh, that's sick.
Book. So this is probably one of the bigger releases that like bigger titles that Tone Poet has done. They've been doing a really killer ones. The ones I actually recommend that I like the most are the Bobby Hutcherson ones. There's two. Bobby Hutcherson's like one of my favorite artists, but this is great. This sounds fantastic. So that I highly recommend if you haven't pre-ordered. I've missed out. There's this bar here in Oakland. It's like a Japanese audiophile bar. It's called Bar Shiru. They did a audiophile listening session of that album on Monday at like 7:30 and 9:30, but I wasn't able to make it. And they legit had like Japanese jazz kissa like rules where kissa, I forget what I think it's kissa. But like you're not supposed to talk louder than the music. It's about going to the bar and listening to it. And they have like it's sick. This right here, which is not really much that exciting to like show from an album. I was really bummed out that it wasn't a gatefold, especially for how much they charged for it, which is whatever. It sounds pretty great on vinyl, but I would say this isn't you don't get this album because for the sonic qualities on vinyl.
It's the storytelling, man.
Yeah, nice little. To me, the best rap album I've heard in 2022 so far. Another honorable mention I would say is the Black Thought collab with Danger Mouse.
Oh yeah,
really good. Is that right, Danger Mouse? I believe it is. But yeah, it's dope. That Black Thought is still dropping bars, man. Guy's probably one of the best rappers alive. That doesn't get, gets great credit, but probably could deserve more. So I'm gonna now. So I bought this the same time we ordered, funky stuff, Soul Media, and it's the same artist.
Yeah.
What's his name? So I got both of them. This is fantastic as well, by the way.
Is it? Oh man, I'm kind of bumming I didn't grab it.
Yeah, it's really good.
This is
Zero Inagi.
Dude, yeah, I was listening to this Friday, like all day long.
Yeah. I gave both these records each. I think I listened to this 3 times already, and then this twice. Really good if you like that kind of funky.
Yeah, funky blues, jazz, like.
Yeah, funky blues, and it kind of takes you into a little bit of I would say it gets a little experimental, a little like avant-garde, a bit. It's not like just straight up funk jazz. There's definitely some like, geez, look at this chocolate latte.
It looks like black ink, dude.
Jeez, bro, I'm like, I want to drink it. But I feel like I need to add some more oat milk up in
Yeah,
there.
you probably need some kind of extra in
My
there.
hands are just like, it's like I was working on a car.
That's
Okay.
jokes.
I do. Those are the majority of records I bought. Those are some of the records I bought recently. I bought other records, but let's not worry about them right now.
It's
I don't know where the hell they are.
Soul Media, Twin Gwyn. Soul Media is the band, or if you want to look it up, it's this.
Yeah.
Soul. Well, it's backwards. It's reversed, but Soul Media.
All these Project Revinyl.
Oh,
Like
I'm
releases
impressed.
actually pretty good. Yeah, they do a lot of. They release a lot of Japanese jazz. I should probably just do a post with all my different Revinyl Japanese jazz stuff that I have. But rest in peace to one of the greats to ever do it.
Oh yeah,
Pharoah Sanders. There's many other Pharoah Sanders records you should pick up, but to me, if you've never listened to him, this was released in 2021, and I would say is hands down.
Well, London Symphony with him.
Yeah, Floating Points. I would say 2021. This is on my top 5 albums that were released in 2021, and with all my other circle of like jazz nerdy friends, I think all of us had this on our top 5. A couple of them had it as a top 1. I have one friend that doesn't like this album actually, and said it was shit. Yeah. He
Hipster is F.
Yeah, he's just breaking the trend. I'm like, come on, man, you just gotta recognize greatness.
Take the bow tie off, my man, and
yeah, exactly. It was really good. So those are the kind of records. Those are the records I've swooped up over the last few days. Oh, can I show you something else that I picked up?
Let's do it.
This isn't a record, but okay. So I went to CanJam, right, and I listened to what's his name's talk, Justin from Amp and Sound's talk, and he's just like, you need a tube tester. If you're buying tubes on eBay. I actually don't buy many tubes from eBay.
Well, if you know who the seller is, you should be okay. But yeah, like if you're buying random.
I buy directly from this guy that I trust, and then I'll like go from like reputable spots like Tube Depot and like there's this dude, I call him all caps Paul, really nice guy. I get directly from him, and he's actually a supplier for Tube Depot and Woo Audio.
Okay.
So I've never had any issues with him, but I haven't been testing his stuff. He may have been ripping me off for years, so I just figured like might as well get one of these tube testers. So I found a dude on Craigslist.
Dude, that's sick.
And I was able to get this, which was sick. Hold on.
Those are just cool. You can even just like put that against your wall, like have it like kind of, and it just looks cool. It's like a cool piece, you know.
And then I also got another one from him.
Oh, a vintage one, huh? Like a proper vintage one. So, look at that, dude.
Yeah, it has like some of the OG manuals.
So you know the reason why they had those were like military, because the military has because they use tubes in a lot of their communications to all their electronics and like so. Well, so back in the day.
This guy used to own. Actually, these aren't original. These are prints. But he used to own a guitar tube and repair shop in San Jose, in the area I grew up in. And this is what he used to test all of his tubes when he was doing that business. But the real reason I'm really stoked about this, well, one of the reasons is, check this out. A legit tube caddy. So what these were used for was when your TV or your radio was busted, you'd call your service person.
And he'd pop that bad boy open.
And they'd pop this thing out.
That's
and then all
sick.
the tubes so I got this one.
That's sick. That's sick.
So, and I've been looking for these online, and you can get them, but they're kind of spendy and like bad. A lot of them are really bad condition. Oh, damn! Where'd my other one go? I have another one which I thought I brought in here. I forgot to bring it in. I have an RCA one that's even bigger and has all these OG manuals like still in the plastic. Cool. So that's another. I think I got it for I got it for $450. I had to drive like an hour north, but $450 for all those, which I felt like it was a pretty fair deal. But I'm stoked just to play with those tube testers. I really don't, know if I'm too concerned about getting ripped off.
I wouldn't worry about it too much, man. Like, I hear a gremlin running by my door, looking for
Gremlin?
toys. She's 6. Ah! I hear her. But the joys of open back. So real quick, the SP3K and the RS8. Did you hear those at CanJam? I'm not really the most familiar with those. So AF.
I'll be honest with you. I didn't get to hear much at CanJam except for, like, I'll tell you this: 1 day is not enough. You need to go for 2. And we had to get back early in the morning because it was like a 7-hour drive from Irvine. But yeah,
I want to say those are DAPs, right? Aren't those DAPs?
I have no clue what they are.
It's still in Kearns, SP3000, I think. Yeah. So I haven't heard the SP3000, but I've heard like a predecessor to that one, and they work. They're good. I as far as with a, he's asking, what was it you're trying to pair it with? Like a VO, I think. Is that what he's trying to pair it with? Sorry, I'm trying to track back to it. Did he remove it? Oh yeah, I think he removed it. So as far as I think those, like, so my experience with DAPs and like full size headphones, maybe you can talk about this too, Jay. But like they work. They tend to be, especially the ZMFs. You need a lot of power to get them to like optimal. Yeah. That being said, if you're out and about running around with a DAP listening to headphones, you're not really trying for your best fidelity. So it's more about just getting it loud enough to where you can hear it and enjoy it. And usually DAPs like that will actually be fine for that kind of thing. Same with I think the RS8's similar powered. So it should be fine and like should be good enough. Like it's not going to be optimal, but it will be good enough, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean,
that's numbers, not because I heard it.
I look at DAPs too as mostly for like IEMs. Like you're commuting. That's the only reason, like the primary use case of why. I mean, I bought the Q5S, the FIO, when I was commuting, and it was nice to power my IEMs with them. Whatever, since I'm all working remote, and then it's also nice to have when I travel, and then I want to bring like a set of headphones. But I'm never like when I'm traveling, I'm never bringing my ZMFs. I'm bringing like
I switched to this just because I have my phone, but
yeah. A DAP sounds nice to me though, because then you don't have to deal with pulling your phone out. I mean, also if it does have like, if it's Wi-Fi enabled, then you can just like when you do have signal, you can just stream. But for the most part, just store like a gig or 2 of music right in there. But now that Rune Arc has dropped,
that's a thing.
You can stream directly from your phone, everything on your
Rune Core.
Yeah, Rune Core. If you care about what you have and what's available like through your streaming services isn't there, or you just want to download a bunch of stuff to your phone. I haven't used it. I used it a bit yesterday. My issue is I feel like my signal isn't strong enough where I'd want to use it like the gym. Because every time I try to use it in the gym, it doesn't work. So I just throw on Spotify,
Fair.
But when you're in the gym, like I'm using like by the way, I'm using the Sony WF. I can't stand those. I can't stand those earbuds. IEMs or whatever.
IEMs, yeah. At the gym, what would I use a lot? Honestly, like nowadays, I just use AirPods if I do. But now, I work out in my garage now, so I don't even care. I have a little Bluetooth crap speaker that it's more about tempo than it is me listening to music. So
I should not have done that.
So pasty.
By the way, I got charcoal on my face now. Like, by the way, I saw Woo Audio post a picture of some guy that was working out with Woo's portable audio amp, and
that giant like tube thing.
Like, who does that? I'm not
crazy people.
I've also seen like Woo post pictures of people powering like AirPod Maxes with their stuff. Mm-hmm. It's just like, does that? I don't know if that's. I don't know if that's good.
Thing. No, it's not a thing.
But they definitely posted it.
Yeah.
And then it started this whole debate about people saying like, "Oh yeah, I'll make it sound better." I'm like, I just don't even want to engage in that. Yeah. I just think it's weird.
It breaks the purpose of what that thing was made for. Like, let's be real.
Yeah.
So real quick, I'm gonna answer this real fast. LCD4 over Verite open for the new Estelle and current SP3K. Honestly, LCD4 is going to want a lot more power than the Verite. So I would probably stray away from the LCD4 for portable use, and the Verite would be better. Because I personally have taken my Verites to coffee shops and out and about with a DAP. It was the KN-N8, and that worked fine for me, and I enjoyed it, and whatever. So next up, I got SR25. SR25 is one of my favorite DAPs, but for IEMs, it's not the best for headphones because it's not very powerful. But it sounds lovely. It's one of the better sounding ones. Anyways, Jay, let's talk about CanJam. Let's rock through this.
All right. So some of y'all might have saw the live stream. I walked around, did that.
It was fun.
That was a ton of fun. I mean, I really came there to check out a few things. I really wanted to. I'll talk about the ZMF experience. I wanted to really hear Dan Clark stuff. I wanted to check out. I did want to actually rehear the Meze Empyrean, but I never got a chance to do that. I wanted to hear Justin's stuff, ambient sound stuff, and then I wanted to just go out and listen to every single booth and just get some listening sessions and some the Italian company that you talked to. What's that company called?
Torino, Spirit of Torino.
Spirit of Torino, yeah. I wanted to check that out, but I just didn't get around to it. I kind of was talking to some folks, mingling, talking to random people, and then kind of hanging with my boy. And I spent a lot of time listening to Dan Clark stuff, and a lot of time listening to ambient sound, and a lot of time listening to ZMFs. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna go real quick because I have some really, really highlights here. I'm gonna start with ambient sound real quick. So that Red October amp is the real deal. It is amazing. I'm not exactly sure what DAC was powering it, to be honest with you.
I think he uses a little S&K DAP, to be honest.
Really?
Estelle and Kern DAP, usually.
Interesting. Wow. But I got to go back and forth between the ones that were powered with I think a Russian tube and a 300, the Western Electric, I believe. Mm-hmm. For me, the Western Electric one definitely sounded better to my ears. I liked it. It sounded a little bit more open, airier. Mm-hmm. But I got to plug in. I actually plugged in my Verite open and my Atrium onto them, and it just made my cans sound as good as I've heard them in some time. Mm-hmm. And yeah, so the Red October was one of my favorite amps I heard there, and was definitely a wow experience. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, I didn't get to hear the Caldera behind it, which I really wanted to, but never got a chance to do that.
It's shocking how good amps and sound amps pair with something like the Caldera or a Rad Zero. It's chocolate and peanut butter.
I'll say this: I liked how my amp and sound Kenzie Ovation sounded with the LCD2. I mean, I love that combo. It was a nice combo.
That's a great amp too, Kenzie.
So, amp and sound, Red October, got to spend some time with that. Really, really enjoyed that amp. Definitely a price of a moderately priced used car.
Yes.
But I get it. I mean, I feel like you buy something when you get to that stage, it is like buying a car where you should spend 6 months doing some research and testing things out because you're gonna have it for a long time. I hope.
And it's luxury. It's a luxury item. It's a luxury thing that you gift to yourself because
Yep. So that great experience there. The next one I'll talk about is DCA. I spent a lot of time.
Expanse? Did you hear that?
The Expanse. I heard the Expanse, and I also heard the what is it? The why am I forgetting the Stealth?
Oh yeah, Stealth.
And the amps, I heard that behind it. There's a solid state that mini GSX, I believe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I also I forget which amp and sound amp he had there.
He had the Nautilus.
Nautilus. There you go. And I heard behind the Nautilus. Both those, we were kind of switching them back and forth. I'll tell you, when I first heard those, I was blown away. More so by the Stealth than the Expanse. I like the Stealth more than the Expanse. And yeah, go ahead.
Oh, so here's the thing with the Stealth. Did you listen exclusively off of the Nautilus and the GSX only?
Yeah.
So the Stealth, to me, comes alive with the Nautilus or Red October or those like damn, because I listened to them in New York and I was like, these are good, but they're flat. Like they don't have a lot of life to them, if that makes sense.
Yep.
And once I threw them on the Red October and then the Nautilus though, I was just like, oh, I get it now.
Right off the bat, I didn't really like it with the GSX. I've wanted to hear that amp, and then I've heard a lot of things about how like, oh, there's no distortion on the Stealth. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna hear it on this very sterile amp that I've never really heard that amp, and it was very sterile, and it did feel a little lifeless, but it was not a bad listen.
No.
And here's what I'll say about the Stealth. Like Stealth would be like an end game for me for like if I needed an office can, because it's just so like
comfortable. Cool, looks cool. I mean, they look cool on the head too. Like
but I definitely like when I was listening, I was like, "Fuck, these are sick!" Like they were, really nice soundstage imaging. Like, bass was nice. Everything was just. It was just a. I was like, "This is like." I told my boy when we were listening, we were going back and forth. We were there for a good like 30 minutes, 30 minutes, like listening back and forth, doing our random test tracks. Which, by the way, I'll give you guys a little bit of like what I was testing this time. So the songs I was listening to was Kendrick Lamar's first track of the Mr. Moral and the High Steppers. Mm-hmm. There's this track where there's the very first track. There's like these steps that are going, like you can hear these footsteps. And I listened for how far away do they sound? Do they sound really close? Do they sound behind me? Do they sound far away? And then there's also these really big piano pieces that kind of come in. They're really big, and there's this bass that hits. So I'm kind of looking for all those things and seeing how I respond to those things like emotionally. Another track I've been using for a long time is this song by Alpha Mist. Alpha Mist, 2 words. It's the first track. Let me go get the name of it real quick. But the reason why I listen to that is it's first of all like a 10-minute jazz track, and there's this really dope. First track off of Antiphon, it's called Keep On. It's a 10-minute track, but there's like, there's bass, guitar, keyboards, there's bass, guitar, keyboards, and there's also a trumpet and sax player, and they kind of trade off these solos. And what I look for is just like that layering and airiness between each one of the instruments, because when it's on a really good setup, like I can just really like feel and feel the fullness of both of those solos kind of going back and forth. Actually, I don't think there's guitar in it. I forget. So that's the other track I listened to. And then there's this other track from this artist named Jose James.
Okay.
Jose James is an acoustic version on Come to My Door. That's on, I forget which album it is again, but it's a duet with Emily King. So you have that really nice female vocal, and then you have Jose James, like very kind of deep vibrato like male vocal, and they just kind of trade off on the verses, and there's this really nice acoustic guitar, and there's like a really good capture of the room. So I'm looking for those are the 3 tracks that I primarily record. I was testing during these times. When I heard the Stealth stuff, that the thing that really stood out to me was how far those steps sounded from on both the headphones, but on that Kendrick track. And and there was this very full airiness to those tracks. And I was just like, I walked away from that experience, and I told my boy, I'm like, those are the best plain R's I've heard personally. The rest like just sounded fantastic. I've never heard anything like that. And I like went to like Dan. I was like, dude, this is sick. Like, I owned your Alpha Primes. It's dope to see the progression of your company. I love your design of like how ergonomic your stuff is. Like you're pushing the hobby to another level. Yada yada. Kind of gave them like, I like to give people their flowers while they can still smell them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm always like to say nice things to people when I can. You never know when people
be a good person and
be nice to people. You know.
Yeah.
So don't just say good things about people at their funeral. You know what I'm saying? When you got, just like, that saying, like, people that will bring flowers to your funeral but won't give you chicken soup when you're sick. You know?
Yeah. For real, dude.
Right? It's just like, so I just wanted to tell him, I haven't owned a lot of his stuff, but I think what he's been doing is dope, and I think it's cool. So then ZMF Room. And I mean, first, I want to talk a little bit about, even though this isn't chronologically how it went down, I spent a lot of time with the Deckware amp that he's doing on that collab.
New collab, yeah.
At OCL, and
They're
listen
funky
to,
looking, right? They're funky, cool looking little amps.
I mean, the Deckware amps I think are cool. They're that kind of long. There's all and his
They
has
almost
all
have
these
that
different.
antique look to them, right? Like, and then the
100%.
antique frame, like you go to your grandparents, they have that giant picture on the wall.
Which is kind of cool because that kind of works a little bit with the design aesthetics of what ZMF has always done.
Yeah.
Bingo.
You get the
What's that? Yeah,
design wise, aesthetically, like it has that art gothic.
Yeah, very much of the
Art
that
Deco,
medieval
Deco
art.
Gothic.
There you go. That's the way to look at it. I mean, I think all of the ZMF dynamics that he's put out have that type of vibe, except for maybe the Aeolus. The Aeolus kind of has, and then the closed backs, of course. I'm talking about open backs. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My VCs are where are my VCs? Sorry, my wife was using my room for meetings.
Ask Leonardo back there. He probably was rocking out to him.
Oh, he's rocking my old military hat.
He's just like.
God, I think we must put him away in there.
Oh man, Leonardo got recruited. Yeah. He's not like. He's gonna skip and register as a conscientious objector.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like.
Probably Leo. He's pretty. He's kind of that type. I can see that.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, spent a lot of time with the Deckware. The Deckware amp sounded hands down way better with the Atrium out of all the cans. And I tried the VO, VC, Artura Classic. Artura Classic was definitely a second runner up with the Deckware. Yeah. Artura Classic is. I mean, if in my opinion, if you want your best value per dollar of anything ZMF, that's your guy right there.
Yeah, I'd say so. It splits the difference between a lot of those headphones too, like the Aeolus. It kind of reminds me of like a brighter Aeolus and a more tame, balanced Tour original.
Yeah, it's fantastic, and the soundstage on it, from what I what I remember from the original Artura, which already had a really great soundstage in my opinion, is just it's next level. If I couldn't,
the highs are a little rolled off. That was probably my biggest thing right now. Is the highs are like they're very tame, not rolled off, but very tame.
Yeah.
Sorry. What? Yeah.
Oh yes, and I did take a look at Grumpy's. I picked them up. They were sick. You got like if I needed a desktop amp, and I'm thinking about figuring out a reason why I need them right now, I would definitely get those. Those are sick. Beautiful. I mean, how dope will that look? With
like the stand, the Gachellis, and some ZMS.
Beautiful work. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Best headphone stands in the game are Grumps, hands down. No one beats them. More drops. I think I need one more. I think I'm at my limit with 2. Maybe one more.
Yeah, I need to get one. I need to get another one. Sorry.
Yeah, but I would say the highlight of the show, and this is. Maybe I'm operating on a little bit of excitement, but the last time I had to like drop my jaw.
It's that charcoal, man. It's making you all crazy.
My mouth today is just a little tight, like I just can't articulate my words that well today. I'm also kind of a mumbly person in general. Was the Caldera with the Lord Gwen SET amp that Zach has.
I think that was made for those too, I think. Or no.
Really?
No, it was his. Never mind. Lord Gwen made an amp specifically for the Caldera. Sorry, it might be behind the scenes.
Whew.
Never mind. Pay no attention to this person over here. Damn, I don't know if I'm telling you anything.
Just hot off the presses, y'all. But that, and then the DCS, was it Lena...
DCS, Lena, whatever.
The
stupid expensive, yeah.
With the master clock and I'll tell you right now, those steps from that Kendrick song sounded like literally down the hall. I
start looking behind you like.
I was like, oh. No, me and my boy who's like a big Stax guy. We were both like, we listened for like 3 minutes and we both took our headphones off. We're like, what the fuck? We're like, what? Like, what is this? Like, sorcery? This is ridiculous. I literally I was just like, take all my money. Like, go ahead. I'll wrap this up. I'm going home.
I don't need an apartment.
Yeah, I don't need retirement.
I don't need food.
Yeah, it was. I mean, the soundstage, the imaging, the bass impact, like the airiness of it. It's like everything like I love about planars, whatever. Um,
With that
Everything I love about
ZMF.
that, but with that ZMF like laid back kind of tuning and naturalness. So that's the thing is, I always feel like there's this like artificial timbre that happens with planars. I didn't hear that, mind you. I've had this experience with planars before, and then I listen to, then I take them home, and I'm borrowing them, I'm listening for like a week, and then all of a sudden
It comes back.
Yeah. So the true test is when I get these and I put them behind my stack, my setup, and how great is the Caldera? Really, I think. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I listened to some good shit behind the DCA stuff. I've heard other like good stuff. This was like a special experience. Like,
That's consistent across the board with everyone that I've talked to about.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, I didn't read anything about the Caldera and anyone's listening impressions. And my boy Brian, who went up there with me, we could not shut up about the Caldera on the way down, and he was just like plotting like the whole time. We're like, well, we could sell this. Like I can rationalize because like
I can get rid of like a liter of blood, right? Like, and then I can.
Because he was like literally talking about like, well, if I get that, and then I get the Red October, and then I get that DAC and Master Clock, like
That's a
what am I in
Porsche.
there, like $40,000, like. I think I can figure that out. Like, we can budget that in somehow. You know, I'm just saving for a house and, like, a life and stuff. You know, like, but...
It's doable.
He's like, but if I buy that, I'm done for the rest of my life, right? I'm like, yeah, you're done.
Yeah, until the next
Sure
thing.
you are. Sure you are. But yeah, I mean, I can't... Like, literally, like, so my wife and I were putting together our holiday wish list.
Yeah.
Our holiday, like, wish list. I'm just gonna write on a big piece of paper. Like I'm gonna just write out Caldera. C on like one piece of paper. A on another piece of paper. L. Like that's all I want this year. That's all I want.
Like, well, that's like right now, dude. That's my other thing. I was like, I'm like diving I'm loving the photography side of the house, right? Like, and I've just been really enjoying this photography, and I'm like having this. My brother-in-law has a Leica. And like, and I was playing around with it yesterday, and I've been kind of flirting with the Leica system for a bit. But if you know anything about Leica, it's like,
oh yeah,
it's painful how expensive those things are. And then the lenses are insane, dude. Like, yeah. Oof. But anyway, so that's one of my things. I'm like, how do I afford this?
Yeah.
and how do I do it in a way that doesn't piss anybody off?
I'll figure it out, but. I don't know if I can afford all that. Like, here's what I wonder: is how much was that DAC and that Lord Gwen amp having to do?
Well,
with
Lord
like...
Gwen doesn't do. That's one thing about Lord Gwen. So he doesn't actually do like you can try and get him to build you an amp, but he doesn't really like to build amps for people. If that makes sense. Like you can ask him. He's on HeadFi.
Yeah, but he also does a breakdown of all his DIY stuff.
So you can learn. You can build it. Yeah. So but the DCS stuff, the Lena is God, dude, that's ungodly expensive. It's like $25,000, I want to say.
Yeah.
For the stack, that DCS stack is like $25,000, I want to say.
Yeah. Well, I want that. You know, you kind of have to get that master clock, right? I mean, that is. So the master clock is $7,300.
Okay, yeah.
And then the network DAC is $12,000. So you're looking at $20,000 for that, and then you can buy the amp if you want. Which
that's what I said. The whole stack is maybe that's what it is. The whole stack is like $30,000 maybe.
I also listened to that amp, and it was fantastic as well. Like that sounded great. So whatever the hell magic fairy dust that they're throwing on this DCS stuff, like I've seen this stuff, I read about it, I never heard it, and like it's the real deal, at least from powering the Caldera.
Wait, so you didn't get the rep that threw the fairy dust in your face before you listened? And told you to breathe deeply?
He's just like... he's just really... All he's doing is just like lacing fairy dust with LSD, and he's just like...
Now you can listen.
Experience.
It's all this, though. It's just the stack. That's what's doing it.
Yeah. My big takeaway there... Okay, so here, I'm gonna go with like 3 real big takeaways about my experience with uh, CanJam. Number one day is not enough. Get there early. I mean, I knew that last year, but I just had to fit this in. It was the only way I can get. I knew I wasn't going to get to hear everything. Get there early if you really want to hear stuff. Also recognize that it's not the best place to actually demo gear. You just want to hear I mean, I heard the new Utopia, and I could barely really. I don't know, it was just too noisy. The amp seemed like it was set up kind of funky. Just wasn't like a really good demoing experience. And I demoed it over at I forget where it was, but it wasn't at the FoCal booth because I was just too busy. One thing I forgot to say was I listened to the MM500.
Yeah,
that was sick.
Yeah, a lot of people are loving that.
I think that thing's like $1,600, and that seems like a great deal for and the new design for all the
it's mirrored after the LCD5, as I recall, right?
Yeah. The new
aesthetic.
Odyssey design. It really I feel like they've been reading Reddit ever making fun of them and how heavy all their stuff is, because this stuff is very ergonomic now. By the way, I heard the LCD5 with the Red October.
That's good.
That was fantastic. I would be very happy with that setup. So that's actually one, but more like two. Caldera was a mind-blowing experience. Definitely keep your eye on that ZMF. And lastly, just meeting some dope folks.
Yeah.
I'm going to give a shout out to Sleepy. Sleepy is like one of the nicest dudes I've met in this hobby. Just wants to just chat it up and wants you to check stuff out. So Sleepy, shout out to Sleep. I'm not sure if he's out here. And then also Audiofool. I had a good coffee chat with Audiofool. I need to get those
tube Rex. Yeah.
I'm gonna go find those tube Rex for the Mjolnir. But yeah, man, that was my CanJam experience was short and sweet. I went to this place to get dinner called it was like Vegan Nirvana. It's this weird vegan spot. It was actually pretty good. But Irvine, I don't like that city. I'm just gonna say it. I just don't like Irvine. I'm gonna say it right now.
My wife's the same way, and she's from she grew up in Pasadena area and stuff. And she's like Irvine, why? Why?
Yeah, it's just I mean, it's like they got these big ass roads with no one in them, and it's nothing but office buildings and chain restaurants. My boy, we roll in there. He's like, ooh, the counter. He's like, they got a counter here. I'm just like, because my boy's from Irvine. I'm like, yeah, there's 9 of them in California. I'm like, just like every other restaurant in the city, there's 9 of them everywhere else. It's just it's like some guy just had this, this stamp, and they created a city, multiple cities, and Irvine's Irvine, make another one over here. It looks the same. This way, people will be comfortable and they don't have to experience things that are different. That's what Irvine is.
It's vanilla ice cream.
I'm from NorCal. We're trained to hate on SoCal. So my bad. True. I got love for y'all from SoCal, but I'm just kidding mostly.
Yeah.
Just so don't take it too I'm not. I don't have a.
I love San Diego. I love Santa Barbara. Santa Barbara's amazing.
SD's dope. LA's cool.
LA's cool. Yeah.
LA's cool. I love LA. I think this is what it is. The surrounding cities of SoCal kind of bother me a little bit. I don't know what it is, but then again, the surrounding cities in the Bay kind of suck too. I mean, I'm not going to start talking about some. I'm too close there to be talking about Bay Area cities right now. If I talk about Irvine, you have to drive up here and come.
So, what do you feel about Dublin?
First of all, Dublin ain't the Bay. Dublin's not the Bay Area, by the way. That's like at the cutoff.
No, it's now a part of the Bay. They got the.
That's what they say. But people from Gilroy try to act like they're from the Bay, but they're not. They're not.
Get out of here, garlic eater.
Yeah, exactly. Gilroy ain't the Bay. They're like, oh, our phone zip code is 408. We just did that to make you feel better about y'all. You're not from the Bay.
Jokes. Yeah. Yeah, man, that's dope. I've heard a lot of people talk about very similar experiences that you had. In my experience, doing any kind of audio show or meetup or that kind of thing, dude, 90% of the time I don't listen to gear. I'm talking, I'm meeting people, we're chatting, we're having a good time, and I rarely have more than a couple minutes to actually listen to anything. So
yeah, to be honest with you, I wish another day would have allowed me to kind of jump in and try some of the other things I wanted to. But I think it would have been nicer to just even talk to more folks about, things. And I got to see Justin's Tube Amp 101. Very informative. Like a lot of stuff, I wouldn't say there was stuff I definitely learned from him. It wasn't all like brand new, but it helped me understand things that I thought I knew a little bit better.
Have you seen his speaker builds?
I have. They're sick.
They're ridiculous. Yeah, he's did a 2-horn, skinny corn Scala. I can't remember what he calls it, but he has 2 horns in it, and then I think he put like an 8-inch on the bottom. But he has 2 horns and then front ported, and they're tall and it's ridiculous. But yeah. Well, we're at over an hour.
Good time.
You want to throw answer some questions? I think we have a couple randoms on the bottom here. You already nailed the Caldera question. So at the bottom, though, we got... So once again, AF. So personally, when it comes to LCD4 or Verite Open, they're both fantastic headphones. The question to you would be is, do you prefer planar or dynamic driver headphones? Because if you already prefer planar, so like an Odyssey, a HiFiMAN, if you like that sound over, say, something like a HD650 or even ZMF if you have them, or what experience you have, if you already prefer that sound, I would say focus on those over the other, So if you like planars, I would go with the LCD4, or if you prefer dynamics, I go with Verite Open. Personally, I would go with the Verite Open, just because, one, they're gorgeous, they sound fantastic, and they're kind of like been overlooked a lot. Zach actually made a post about this, and a bunch of other people made a post about this after CanJam, about how people have got so wowed by the VCs because it was like the hotness, whatnot. And then they kind of forgot about the Verite Open. But when you actually pair the Verite Open comparatively to like the Atriums, to the VC, the VOs are actually the technically better headphone.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I mean, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're good.
Here's the way, LCD4, I agree with everything. I'm a +1, everything that Tyler said right there. But to make that decision, here's some things that I would think about. What do you care more about? Do you care more about details, or do you care more about timbre? If you care more about micro details, I would probably say go with the LCD4. Not to say that the Verite Open is...
it's more relaxed, I'd say.
More relaxed, definitely. Like, here's what I was actually... I'm not sure if this was on the live stream. I'd say in the world of ZMF, the Verite Open is the most lean forward can he makes, but it's still lean back. It's just within that. Yeah. And LCD, it's a planar. It's going to pick up micro details. It's going to have a little bit better bass extension, likely.
A little more slam.
Bingo. But here's what I would think about with the LCD4. They don't make any new ones. Okay?
Yeah.
And you're going to have to get a used one. And LCDs, I've had an LCD Odyssey driver pop on me on my LCD2 Bamboo. And the thing that sucks is you gotta take your pads off. They were trying to tell me that they couldn't replace my brown vegan suede pod.
They're not making them anymore.
They're not making them anymore. So those are the things about where I would think about the LCD4 is just like, you're buying this thing that's probably going to be about $2,500 in the used market to $3,000, and you got to deal with some of that stuff. Where if you buy a brand new Verite Open,
you got lifetime warranty. You got on the driver and
Also, do you like OTL amps? If you like OTL amps, get the ZMF. It's going to sound so sweet with those things. So those are the kind of things that I would think about. But the high level thing is like, do you care more about timbre, or do you care more about details? If you like micro details and things like that, like I think the LCD4 will outperform it. Not to say that Verite Open doesn't do it. It's just I would say and not to say that the timbre is terrible on the LCD4, but it's a planar. Yeah. So that's just me.
I agree. Yeah, that's fair. And as far as portable goes too, I would say that both are ridiculously not the most portable headphones. I would say that the LCD4s are heavier and bigger, and which is saying a lot because VOs are not light headphones.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, they can be light if you get like the magnesium chassis and the crescent strap. It's not too bad.
Crescent strap is so good.
I mean, I've worked all day with my VO Camphor Burls. No way I could do that with my LCD with the LCD4s. I don't own LCD4s. I spent a lot of time with them. And I owned LCD2s. Those were so hard for me to work.
Yeah. You get a hot spot after a couple hours for me as well.
Ergonomically, I would still say that the ZMFs would win, especially when you do the mods that you can do. That ZMF offers, like the magnesium chassis and the crescent strap.
Gotcha. Yeah, agreed. This is actually pretty good. what were we gonna
A
call
to the
it?
Kizzo. A to the Kizzo.
A to the Kizzo. He says, this is actually funny because I actually sent him and you both my thoughts on the aesthetics of the new Utopia. I found this picture, and it's this. I don't know if I can. I don't want to get taken down for inappropriate stuff, so I'll just put it on my phone real quick. So, and to me, like once I saw this picture, somebody else pointed it out to me, but then I found it, and like so, this is the ZMF. Sorry, it's gonna be kind of wonk looking, but if you look at it, that's the new 2022, right? And then so keep that in mind. So you have this bar, and then you have the little red ball in the middle, and all I see. Whenever I see
that. Hey, you traumatized me with that, bro. Like, when you said that to me, I wasn't ready for it. I was like having my morning coffee. I was just like, hey, man, it's too early for this.
Utopia. Whoa. Oh, man.
Like, I can't be looking at this. I'm like, what if my wife sees this? I'm going to be in trouble, bro. Like.
True story. No, it's Tyler. Just blame me. It's fine.
It's Tyler. She's like, I'm like, what do you mean I can't hang out with Tyler for more? He's great.
He's great.
He didn't mean it.
He's just being funny. He's just being funny.
Yeah. Those are headphones.
Yeah, those are headphones. They just look like that.
Yeah. I was bummed out that I really get to hear the Utopia well, because whatever I listened to, it was just like, it sounded weird and distorted and not good.
And the people that I talk to that I trust regarding it, as far as their sound, I know their sound preferences. I know generally what they like or don't like kind of thing. So like Grover's a perfect example. You said hi to him at the booth there, and then the guy that he was chatting with
Grover.
Something.
Yeah.
But so Grover talked to me about it a little bit. I listened, and then some people, other people I talked with, and was reading their impressions. It seems like what they did with the Utopia 22 is they tamed a lot of what the original was about. So they rolled the highs a little bit down. They made it less bright. They warmed it up. They made it more of a consumer tuning, if that makes sense.
Interesting.
And so
why?
And that's what a lot of the people's takeaway was like it's good. But they've kind of taken some of the magic away from what made the Utopia a Utopia, right? Like,
yeah, it's almost like let's make a Delirium driver not sound like a Delirium driver. Like you kind of want that's what when you get a phone or a headphone that's based off of that, you kind of want that like quickness, and you want those like
the
almost
bright,
sometimes
the highs,
harsh,
the detail.
Yeah, those details that sometimes you trade off, but you get that harshness. But that's okay. You're like, fine, I'll figure out how to deal with that, or I won't listen to bright recordings.
And another person said this, which I thought was funny, which is also telling, because I actually prefer the Stelia over the Utopia, right? Mm-hmm. And someone was like, well, the new 2022 is basically just an open back Stelia. And so it's like, okay, well...
Maybe
like,
it's good.
Yeah,
I want to hear it again. I just felt like I didn't really get a real time with it. I own the FoCal Clears and OG and the MGs. I do like those cans. For me, they get a little bit too fatiguing for me though, like the punchiness.
Yeah, I
do love them with like I listened to the Kendrick album the first time with the clear MGs over my audio god Master 9 or whatever. Mm-hmm. What it's called? Yeah, me in solid states. I'm like, yeah, whatever. But I listened to it, and I was like, this is sick. This was such a dope experience, and I've been gravitating towards that. But I traded that stuff already for the Atrium.
I'm on the same boat. Like I rarely, if ever, listen to my Stelia as much anymore. I most of the time when I'm listening to headphones, it's gonna be the ZMFs generally. Yeah. But
ZMF just has a tuning I like. I have to.
Get me.
I'm a fanboy for a reason. Like I kind of get like loyal to brands primarily because I pick brands that I feel like design for what I like, and then
they speak to me as far as like their morals, or not necessarily morals, but like you know what I'm talking about. Like
I like to say their
the
ethos,
relationship,
right?
The ethos. Thank you.
Yeah,
that's the word I was looking for. The ethos.
That's how I feel about it. I mean, you can maybe it's not the right word. But basically, just like what are we about, and what do we stand by, and like how do we want to treat our customers? Like Zach just sent me an email.
You meet Zach and Bev, and I guarantee you, even if you're not a fan of ZMF, you will become a fan of ZMF.
Come on, yeah. I mean, what I thought was dope. There was this dude rolling around, which I'm sure that Zach already knew him, and he had these modified Sony MD those standard closebacks.
Yeah.
He's like, I guess it was like a second or third iteration, and he walks up to Zach. He's like, has a bunch of them. He's like, hey, this is my like second or third iteration. Like, you want to listen to him? Zach just drops
Pops
everything, listens to him, and like did what looked like a real critical listen, and gave the guy some feedback on his thoughts, and wasn't like these are
dude, Zach's such a good dude, man.
I was just like, that's awesome, because the thing is though, Zach was that dude a few years ago.
Yeah. And you know what's funny? He hasn't changed, like really, like at all. Like he's still like since the day I met Zach and Bevan to today, he's basically the same persona. Does that make sense? Like he hasn't, like he's just a super chill, nice guy. Like he's genuinely, and he's just a good dude. Same with Bevan. Bevan's the sweetest, man. I love both.
I mean, they're still rocking the booths.
Yeah.
Yeah,
dude.
And the first thing I said, I was like, hey, man, 2019, y'all had like that corner, the big corner. Now y'all live in that room life.
Yeah, the big room life.
This was like last year, it was like Woo Audio and like Abyss had their room and like Grado had their room. And it's just like, ZMF got a room. ZMF room had I think DCA had a room.
So ZMF, from my understanding, was the busiest room of the show.
Bro, I literally had to like stand there and wait and just like, Bevan helped me out though. Bevan was hella cool. I was like, Bevan, I want to hear this and this. She's like, just wait, I got you. I'll make sure you get a seat. And she hooked me up and she was like, she was dope.
Yeah, dude.
She's the sweetest person. I mean, you know what really kind of warmed my heart when I rolled in there? She was just like, Jay's vinyl collection. I was like, oh, you know
dude.
who I am. That's cool.
Yeah, dude, Bevan's the best, dude.
She made me just feel so like, they make you feel like
your family.
Like
it's like
connection.
a yeah. They're good people, man.
I hope that stays the same for a very, very long time.
Yeah, they're good peeps, man. Let's see. Next thing would be we're both rocking Atriums. Yes.
Yep.
And Caldera comes out. When does
November?
November, yeah.
November is what it's supposed to, you know how they do the ZMF November?
Yeah, ZMF.
What do they call it?
ZM Movember, ZMF Movember or something like that.
They didn't work on that. That's too hard to say. It's too hard to say and remember. Just like they should call it November Dope Drops. There you go. That's I'm gonna give that recommendation to them.
ZMF November Dope Drops. Let's go.
Well, I'm hoping what will happen is they'll drop, like with the Caldera, they'll drop Stabilize and Resins like right off.
Oh, eventually. Well, I don't know about right back, but yeah, I have no idea. I don't have any inside knowledge, but that would be sick. I know they will, just because that's he likes doing that stuff. But
yeah, but I'll probably want to get like a limited wood that they drop instant right away, or maybe even just the standard and just be like, get it. I saw they had like some black hardware.
Mm-hmm.
But they had this rose gold, and there's like a little indent, and just the way it's beautiful. And what I think is cool too is they've kind of deviated away from like the Gothic Art Deco look, and it has more of this more modern industrial.
I love the grill on the Caldera was like, you showed me that when you did your phone, and I was just like, oh, and then I saw the pictures online, and I was like, dang, that's
So if we can real quick, I wonder what Zach's next move is now, because. And to me, as he's done like flagship,
so he's been working on it. If I've done a couple interviews with him and we talked about it. So he still has the cheaper can come. He's still working on. He's trying to get that nailed down. And so that's the thing. He's focused on more of his proper passion projects first, and then which was obviously these, and then the Caldera. So he's been working on both of these for a while now. So, and then but he's also been working on that. Like kind of like a new proper entry into ZMF family or into the ZMF environment. Kind of
and he was talking it was probably gonna be like a lower ohm, like a 32 ohm.
Yeah, more portable. He wants it to be a little more portable, a little more easy to drive. But so
my guess is. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
That's pretty much it. That's all I know about it, really. Other than he's been working on it, and I think he has a couple other projects, but I don't know anything about him. I know, but he's working on stuff. So
I think it would be cool to see like a small closed back cup. Like wood, obviously still wood, metal, leather.
Like a mini VC.
Yeah, something that you could actually wear out, and it would be, you wouldn't feel like a complete weirdo. I mean, deep down inside, if you're buying those, you're still like deep down inside, you're kind of a weirdo.
You're not a weirdo, a little bit.
You're a cool weirdo though.
You're like, cool weirdo.
I say weirdo in like an endearing way. Like I'm a weirdo.
Yeah.
Like
Ditto.
So. Yeah, I'm excited to see what he does next. Also with planar, if he goes a step down, like a $1,600 planar.
That'd be kind of cool. He has a lot of gaps in his lineup that he could easily fill in with that stuff.
Yeah, we don't want him to turn into like HiFiMAN though. We just need him. Maybe we should shut up.
Yeah, cállate.
Just do your thing, Zach. Don't listen to us. No, that'd be ridiculous though if he like watches the stream. He's like, well, I guess I'm gonna just change my strategy and do what these two knuckleheads say. He's like, I've been doing well for all these years, but I guess I'll listen to Jay and Tyler. And just
all right, yeah, no, dude, that's for reals.
Eventually, all he does is just green and purple headphones. This is it. That's all he does. Green and purple headphones.
It's what they wanted. It's not my choice. It's just what.
Dope drops. November becomes a thing.
Wait a minute. This is all awkwardly familiar.
Hey. All right.
Let's see. Coming in October, I'm assuming you're talking about the meetup at Rosin. Nicholas, I can't make it. Like I said, I have a lot going on. As far as I haven't done any videos recently, I'll probably do a post. Eventually, I'm going to, hopefully next week I have more time, but I'll do an actual video post on what's been going on. But anyways, the October, so that's really cool. Rosin's doing that. I sent it to you too, right, Jay? But I don't know if you're going to be able to go.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to make it. I want to hella bad.
Dude,
that'd be dope.
Dude, and Alex Alex to me is like the ZMF of the Planar world. So like, and he's just such a cool dude. Oh, it's in Oakland, October 1st. Oh, that's you're doing that.
Oh, really? Oh, is that the meetup?
Yeah, that's a San Fran meetup. Okay, yeah. No, I won't be able to make that either. But it's funny, like there's two. SF Audio Lodge. There you go.
SF Audio Lodge. Good channel.
Yeah.
A lot of helpful people and like super nice.
So I won't be making that, but or either of those, but up in the Seattle world. But dope. Always go to meetups. This is sick that you guys are doing that too for the SF Audio Lodge, because it's finally to the point where people are starting to open up and be more flexible and be happy to meet up and do that stuff. 'Cause that's clutch for a lot of people that don't have access.
The dude that started that, this guy, I know he's Death Grips. I think maybe it is Nicholas that did it. What a great idea. I mean, I actually met that guy that started it from Craigslist selling stuff, and he just kind of was chatting about these ideas, and he and I actually talked a little bit about
it. Is him. Yeah, it's Death Grips. It's him.
Okay, cool. That's Death Grips. All right. Shout out to Nicholas. What's up, man?
What's up, right?
He actually bought my LCDs. He has my beautiful suede brown LCD.
Not broken LCD. No.
Yeah. They're brand new drivers on those. Brand new drivers. Replaced. They're still under warranty. I can't do no one dirty in the hobby, bro. Come on. But I've talked to you about how much I love those headphones, and I sold it to him. And sometimes I'm like, damn it, can I? He does put much more use to them than I would. So shout out to him on buying that. Those are great cans. But yeah,
very dope.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Say October 1st, I have a wedding in Sacramento the day before, and I'm trying to make sure I can kind of make it out there and bring some gear and meet some other folks in person, because that Discord's a lot of fun. Everyone's super dope, and I think Nicholas, kudos to him for building something that awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. A couple more questions. I got to get going. I'm actually 20 minutes past my. I'm sure my wife's going to come in and be like, she has a meeting at 11, so I need to be out of here and prep for her. Yeah. But that living that APAC life. Let's see.
Yep.
Let's see. You guys saw that on. They should do in February. ZMF February. Yeah. So there's actually a thing called ZM Festivus, and they're trying to bring that back or start that again. ZMF, and it's dope.
When is that usually?
Well, usually it's around the November time frame, like fall, but they're trying to reconfigure it. But it's ZM Festivus. That's actually where I got my VCs. I picked them up, and it's so much fun. It's basically like a meetup on steroids, if that makes what you guys do on October 1st, but like it's dope. It's so dope.
I've heard about it and read about it, and I definitely wanted to go, but then COVID happened.
Yeah, and then COVID happened. Yeah, same. Yeah. Well, they were talking about possibly like Bevan and Zach and I were chatting one day about it, and like they're like it'd be so cool to just get like a really cool big van and fill it with ZMF stuff and just go tour. And I was like, dude, that'd be so sick.
That's a great idea. I love that idea.
But
you're gonna have like some like you know how you have deadheads? You're gonna have like ZMF
heads.
Just follow the van on tour, bro. They're just like, oh yeah.
Not even plugged in, just rocking ZMFs.
Just going. I love it.
But yeah, so that's kind of stuff's kind of going. I know they're talking about doing something like that again. This maybe not this fall, but maybe this spring. Maybe is doing a ZM Festivus. And I know HeadFi's working on doing adding some more cities to their CanJam tours. So stuff to keep in mind. Anyways, I think that's all of them, man. I think that's all the questions. So thanks everybody for joining, and this is always fun. I always love chatting with Jay, and we have a good time. So we'll try to do more of these and go. Yeah. You know, maybe do more Q&A even one of these days where we just sit and just chat with the chat and see what people want to talk about.
We should do a whiskey, and just get a whiskey chat.
Oh, what? Maybe we'll plan a Japanese whiskey album review.
Yeah, let's do it. I'll start writing some notes on it. I've like I said, I listened to it a few times, but I haven't dove too deep.
Do some highballs, Japanese highballs.
I'm into it. All right, I gotta get going as well, Tyler. Bro, this is always fun. I appreciate you letting me opening the space up to me. I always have fun doing this.
We'll have to get you your own channel so you can not rely on my slow dumb ass.
Come on. Yeah, I gotta start doing it. I'll work on it. Just time and.
Oh, dude, I feel you.
I would say that isn't the time, isn't it? It's just like the nervousness behind it.
There's a little bit of nervousness.
I need to just jump off the cliff already. You know,
it's taking the first step, dude. Honestly, the first step's the hardest part, and then once you start going, like even right now, like I'm having a hard time starting doing the videos again. Just because I've been away for so long, and it's like, oh, like is this, like what do I really? I don't know. So you start, just take the step.
It will be very pop the trunk if I do it, because I don't got any video editing skills. I got like zero skills there. It's gonna literally just be like a dude with a camera, be like, yo.
Live stream, dude. Live stream. I'm telling you, live stream's the way. Like what we're doing right now, this is easy. Like I don't have to edit this. I don't do anything. Just plug it in and go, and then you hit end, and it's done. All
right, man. Enjoy your Sunday.
You too. Everyone else enjoy as well. Thanks for
everyone had good.
Thanks for chatting with us, and
SF Audio Lodge, October 1st. Let's go.
Yeah. For reals.
All right. Peace, y'all.
Cheers, everybody.
Bye.